For all the non-believers, 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 non-believers. I'm making non-believers say, oh.
What's up, y'all? This is Jay Varsity, and welcome back to another episode of NBA Talk, Playoff Edition. This is episode 105, and we had quite a crazy weekend of playoff basketball. I know I haven't been putting out my videos as consistently as like on a game-to-game basis, but you know, people got things to do and all that. But yeah, let's just get straight to the point. We're gonna get right into. I'm just gonna knock these. I'm just gonna get these knocked out the way because you see the title of the episode and you're gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna go on a rant in this one." But let's just get on with the other series in hand. So my first thought of the Miami Heat and the Bucks series, how they took a 3-0 lead and then Giannis gets hurt in the first quarter in Game 4 because he was playing super aggressive, and he ended up getting hurt in the beginning of Game 4. And in my belief, it just threw Miami off. To me, it really just threw Miami off, and they started playing very, very sloppy, and they started getting very lazy on a lot of possessions, and it it just and the Bucks, they just really threw Miami off of how hard they were being aggressive after Giannis went down, especially from Chris Middleton's end. Brook Lopez was being a great shot blocker. He was making tough threes, and Eric Bledsoe attacking the paint, consistently attacking the paint. It was just really thrown off Miami, and then for them it started to realize that this is still this was still a winnable game. They tried to win the game as best as they could. Tyler Hero was making clutch shot after clutch shot, but it was just they had lost the momentum in that game. Even Jimmy Butler even quoted that the way they were playing, they didn't deserve to win that Game 4. So, but the status of Giannis' injury is still up in the air for Game 5. Do I think well, and they showed Giannis in a boot at the end of Game 4. Do I believe Miami is going to blow Game 5? I highly doubt it. With a tough leader like Jimmy Butler, he's not going to let another one slip away. He's not going to let an opportunity like this slip away. He's not going to let the Bucks gain momentum back. They may have been the best team in the league, but Miami's been the most tough-minded team in the playoffs. They've been the most tough-minded team in the playoffs. So I don't think they're going to let another one go. I think this is over tonight. This series ends tonight, and Miami's going to be on their way to the conference finals. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Heat fan. I just believe that from a basketball standpoint that Miami has just been the better team. Miami's just been the better team. They've been a better team from the perimeter. They've been a better team on defense. Overall, they've just been a better team than the Milwaukee Bucks in this series. You could decide that in the comment section whether or not that's true or not, but because everybody has their different opinions. A lot of Bucks fans really think that the Bucks are gonna come back from 0-3 deficit, but come on, let's be realistic here. I understand we've had 3-1 comebacks before and all that, but come on, a 3-0 comeback, like let's not get ridiculous now. Let's not get ridiculous. Now, I'm gonna talk about this series with the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors. The Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors, the first two games, the first game was an absolute beatdown. I'm pretty sure I covered that in my last videos already. But the first two games, the Celtics were dominating, and Game 3, it looked like the Celtics were going to dominate again, but then they celebrated a little too early. And it only took half a second for Toronto to completely steal the momentum of the series. That half-second buzzer beater by OG Anunoby from 3 just like changed the momentum of the series, at least for a while. Because in Game 4, Toronto took won Game 4 to tie the series, but then after what I saw from last night in Game 5, whew, man, that was an ass whooping. That was an ass whooping. Like I don't know where Toronto's energy went in Game 5. Like they lost everything they had in Game 4. Like that was just beyond. I was just beyond shocked. I really had thought that Toronto had took the momentum of the series already because the Boston Celtics looked like they couldn't believe that they were playing a Game 4. So I didn't think they would be locked. They would be locked in so quickly for Game 5 because I thought Toronto being the defending champs, gaining momentum to tie the series. I thought at least Game 5 would be a little tougher. That was the most. Uh, that was the most pathetic performance from a defending champion that I've seen. Like they couldn't hit a shot for nothing in the world. They could not find their offense for nothing. They couldn't hit threes. They couldn't get to the paint. Pascal Siakam was again useless. Kyle Lowry couldn't take a shot unless he was 2 feet away from the basket. Fred VanVleet was neutralized. It was like that was ridiculous. Boston's defense, I can't believe I'm saying this because I hate talking about Boston teams, but Boston's defense was perfect. Boston's defense was perfect. Like they were crowding that paint every time. Anytime a Raptors player came down the middle, they perfectly crowded the paint. Pascal Siakam could not do his little fancy spin moves without running into 3 Celtics players. That was just unbelievable. I'm literally watching it. I'm like, Jesus, but what an ass kicking. Boston was just firing on all cylinders between Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart. Boston was just going off from 3. Most of them were uncontested, which is what also shocked me. Like, forget having energy on the offensive end. You didn't even have energy on the defensive end. Toronto didn't even have Toronto did not even have energy on the defensive end. Like that was beyond. That was bad. That was bad. Like you cannot come into a Game 5 with the series tied after you fought those 2 games, and then you just come out flat like that. You can't just come out flat like that. Like that was bad. That was horrible. That was really bad basketball. And for Toronto, who had really set a tone of being a great defensive team and playing hard basketball all the way to the final buzzer, that was really disappointing to see. And I've gotten on Toronto's case in the past for not being able to eliminate LeBron once, but damn, this is horrible. This is horrible for a defending champ to just come out so damn flat on offense and defense. These guys look like they did not want to play. But the Boston Celtics, they're up 3-2. They have the opportunity to knock out the defending champs in Game 6. We'll see what goes on from there. I better see something. I better see something from Toronto. Like, I better see something from Toronto. If they could force a Game 7, because what I saw from Toronto, they look like they gave up. They gave up in the first quarter. Because that was horrible. That was very horrible basketball. And if I'm Nick Nurse, I'm probably cursing out everybody on the team right now, but because how the hell you expect to win a playoff series or get back to the finals the way and play the way that you were playing? But yeah, Boston's up 3-2, and like I stated before, they have the opportunity to knock out the defending champs in Game 6 tomorrow night. So we just gotta see what happens when the backs are really against the wall. So yeah, that's about that. The the next series I'm gonna get into is the Lakers and the Rockets. We saw game one on Friday night, and quite frankly, I did not expect the Houston Rockets to come out as energetic as they did in game one, and they were just firing on all cylinders. The Lakers were really pissing me off in game one. They were not getting back on defense as quickly as they did in the Portland series, and it was just really getting on my nerves. James Harden was having a field day from the free throw line, and he like this is one thing about this Rockets team that really gets on my nerves. I really can't stand this Rockets team because this team is solely built off of analytics. This team is solely built off of analytics. Like, how on earth you're gonna tell? Like, they shoot so many threes. It's beyond me. How many freaking threes they shoot a game. But I'm also beyond frustrated with how teams literally can't touch them. You literally can't touch the Rockets without a whistle being blown. Like that really pisses me off to an extent. But you can't touch Robert Covington, you can't touch James Harden, you can't touch Eric Gordon. It's like automatically they're going to the line. And I'm gonna get on another team for that exact same situation in just a moment, but yeah, the Rockets dominated the Lakers in game one, but the Lakers made some serious adjustments in game two. And when I mean serious adjustments, Rondo was straight put the defensive pressure right on lock. Rondo put the defensive pressure on Westbrook. Westbrook just had an atrocious game two. Turnover after turnover, he was not being effective on the offensive end, and he was definitely not effective on the defensive end. He looks really bad right now because all he's basically doing, and how he quotes it, he's just running around. He's just running around, losing the ball, committing turnovers. The Lakers were pounding. The Lakers finally were dominating like they were supposed to. Anthony Davis dominated like he's supposed to. LeBron kept going down the middle in the paint, which is what I wanted him to do this whole damn time. And finally, when they did it, look at the difference. They did have a sloppy third quarter though, letting Houston come back after having that big lead. But the Lakers came back strong. Defensively, Rondo set the pressure. Rondo set the pressure on Houston that entire game too. That defensive pressure came strictly from Rondo with his 5 steals and 10 points. He didn't fall for that trap again of basically shooting every time Houston left him wide open. So I like the adjustments that the Lakers made in game two, and then for some reason they just ball the hell out in those Black Mamba jerseys. I just find it very funny. They just ball the hell out every time they have those Black Mamba jerseys on. It's just incredible. But yeah, series is tied there. They play game 3 tonight. I'm saying the Lakers take a 2-1 series lead. I think they set the tone already. I think they know what their defensive scheme. What adjustments can the Rockets make? Because either James Harden either James Harden gets more aggressive, or you give Eric Gordon more minutes. Because obviously Westbrook is what's Westbrook committing turnovers is what's killing you guys, and obviously Westbrook can't control himself. So who knows what adjustments the Houston Rockets make. Now, the topic of the video says Denver was robbed of a 2-1 series lead. So game 1, the the Los Angeles Clippers just basically gave Denver a beatdown because Denver was just plain exhausted. The Clippers basically beat down a tired Denver team that just came off a 7-game series. So what else do you want me to say about game 1? But game 2, if you didn't think that the Clippers got exposed in game 2, you truly don't know basketball. They set up a great defensive strategy on Kawhi, leaving Jeremy Grant on him, who is long, lengthy, and athletic. He bothers the hell out of Kawhi. And Denver was firing on all cylinders in game 2. Jamal Murray putting Kawhi on skates. I saw that on repeat maybe 100 times. And Jokic in general is just a mismatch for the Clippers. Jokic in general is a mismatch for the Clippers. They have no answer for Nikola Jokic. They have no answer. Jokic has been dominating since the series started. Denver ended up winning game 2 by I believe by at least I can't remember the final score right now, but anyway, Gary Harris also has been lighting it up from 3. Paul Millsap has been doing work in the paint. Michael Porter Jr. is putting himself into the series, and I'm telling you, look out for Michael Porter Jr. Look out for him. He's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be that third guy that Denver was looking for, and finally they're giving him an opportunity in the playoffs to make an impact. But game 3, man, game 3, Jokic was in his bag, bro. Nikola Jokic was in his bag. And he was torching the Clippers. The Denver Nuggets were torching the Clippers. And the only thing I have to blame for why the Denver Nuggets lost, these horrible calls in the fourth quarter. That fourth quarter officiating was by far ridiculous. It was ridiculous and biased. Come on. You look at the free throw difference and you tell me why on earth did the Clippers shoot so many free throws and when going into the fourth quarter, the Denver Nuggets had shot a total of 4 free throws. 4 free throws, and the Denver Nuggets had two double-digit leads in the entire game. They were dominating the Clippers the entire game with 4 free throws. Like that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. In total, the Denver Nuggets ended up with 10 free throws, and the Clippers ended up with 26. 26. What contact are they making with them that they're getting so many free throws? I don't want to hear nothing from Clipper fans. Nothing. You didn't deserve to win that game. You did not deserve to win that game. I don't care how great Paul George played. You were still getting dominated. I don't care how great Kawhi played. And don't talk to me about that one ridiculous block that I'm seeing on Instagram, because it's getting annoying already. Oh, he blocked it with his middle finger. So freaking what? But the free throw difference is what throws me off. The fourth quarter, the Clippers committed so many fouls that were not called. It just left me in shock. I just remember this one play. I forgot who missed. I think it was Lou Williams that missed the shot. I don't remember who. Jokic gets the ball. Jokic or Plumlee gets the ball. And they give it to Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. clearly gets fouled by Kawhi Leonard. And I don't hear a whistle. But every time I see Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, Patrick Beverly, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, they are flailing their arms the moment they get touched. They're flailing their arms the moment they get touched. And they're going to the free throw line. That sickened me. I'm like, isn't this supposed to be the toughest team in basketball? And they're over here flailing and flopping every time they have the ball? I don't know who's worse between the Houston Rockets and the Clippers. This Clippers team is a bunch of clowns the way they were acting last night. They're clowns. I'm calling this team the Floppers, not the Clippers. This team from now on is going to be called the Floppers because that's all they know how to do. That's all they know how to do is flop. Like that, oh my God, bro. Like, seriously. And then Patrick Beverly's quote really got me when he says that Nikola Jokic knows how to get a referee to make a call. But by the way he flails and all that. Patrick Beverly, you couldn't be any more wrong. Jokic was killing you guys. He wasn't flailing nothing. How often did Jokic go to the free throw line? I really don't think much because they had 10 in total and I saw Jokic shoot 2 free throws. And Jamal Murray was having a bad game, and look how they were dominating you. Look how they were dominating you, and Jamal Murray was having a bad game. Nah. Anybody who praises the Clippers on this win, you ought to be sad. You ought to be sad because that was a disgrace to basketball. How much the Denver Nuggets got robbed. They were the better team. They are still the better team in this series because the Clippers truly had only one good game, and that was after Denver came off a Game 7. The Clippers do not have any answers for a lot of people on this Denver team. They do not have answers for Jokic. Yeah, they came up with a couple of double teams here and there, but he still dominated. Zubac cannot guard Jokic. I don't care how hard he tries. Montrezl Harrell cannot guard Jokic. Hell, he got posted by Michael Porter Jr. He ate Michael Porter Jr.'s nuts last night. Pause. So, I truly don't care that the final result says that the Clippers won. I think Denver is the better team. The better team got screwed last night. They got flat out screwed. I don't care what Bleacher Report, ESPN, or any other of these sports pages say. Ball don't stop talking about, oh, look how much the Clippers are much better when Paul George runs the offense. Man, get out of here with that BS. Get out of here with that BS. The Clippers were getting exposed on the one thing that they pride most, and that was on the defensive end. They could not guard these guys for nothing in the world. They can't guard them still. And I'm telling you right now, I would not be surprised if Denver ties the series in the next game. Because I'd be pissed if I'm Mike Malone. I'd be pissed if I'm Jamal Murray. I would be coming out and I would just be setting the tone and dominate the Clippers because the Clippers clearly do not know what the hell they're doing. They are not consistent whatsoever, and consistency from the referees. I would play with the same physicality that the Clippers are playing with and see if the referees make all these bad calls. Because that was atrocious. That was ridiculous, and Denver should be up 2-1 right now. Really, come the hell on. Paul George was the only consistent three-point shooter on the team last night. And you're going to tell me that they still won this game after the Denver Nuggets were shooting lights out from 3. Nah. I don't care what anybody says. All the Clipper fanboys, y'all could get the hell out of my face. Y'all could really get the hell out of my face with this one. Y'all could really get the hell out of my face. It was truly the referees against the Denver Nuggets last night. Truly. So, I really don't care. That's it. That's all. That's my opinion. Y'all, you could complain, calling me salty. I really don't give a crap. Anyway, that's it, and that's it. That's all. That's it for this episode. Let's see what goes on in these games tonight. Comment who you think is winning these games tonight. Comment what you thought about Game 3 with Denver and the Clippers. Comment what you thought about the Heat and the Bucks. Do you think Miami's gonna finish the series off tonight? I personally think so, but let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell if you like basketball content. This is your boy Jay Varsity, and I'm out. Peace.
We got some non-believers out there.
Make believers out of non-believers. Make believers